Hello guys, welcome to Gusto Reactions once again. Thank you so much for always liking, sharing, subscribing, telling your friends about what we do right here at Gusto TV. I've got Lala right here again in the building. Lala, the man, my brother, you're welcome. Omale and Teams are finally free from the hands of the Ugandan people.
Finally free.
Finally free, yes. Finally free.
Escape from Uganda.
Escape from Uganda. Anyways, one of those people who have really done, the yeoman's job in terms of social media push are the Nigerian artists. I mean, from the likes of Wizkid to DAVIDO to BURNA Boy to Tiwa Savage and the rest of them. Now, there are two sides to this story.
Yeah.
While so many people think, okay, you know what, Omale and Teams have actually gone against the rules of the Ugandan government by performing at the show and fans not observing social distancing due to the COVID pandemic. Nigerian artists have also been bashed in a way to say, you know what, why are you ignoring the fact that these guys went against the rules? I mean, you can say freedom, but also you need to also realize that, when you say something about freeing people, you need to also come to the party with another, statement saying, oh, okay, we know that they flouted the rules, but then free them. I mean, that's like acknowledging that
You've made an error.
They made an error, and of course, but due to the fact that they're foreigners and everything, free them. Now, Wizkid, BURNA Boy, DAVIDO are in the news once again. On the 18th of this month, just a few days away, Wizkid is set to, on the 19th actually, Wizkid is set to, perform
live sport.
Yes, at the concert. Wizkid live in concert alongside Yemel Ade and the rest of them. Next day, 19th was BURNA Boy, 20th Wizkid actually, and then 28th is DAVIDO, DMW live in concert. And then the big news came out today saying those concerts have been cancelled. Was there any reason why they were cancelled?
Well, it says it's out of concern for his fans and I mean himself as well. But
that's DAVIDO.
That's DAVIDO. But then didn't they consider that before fixing the date for a concert in December? There was already a pronouncement that there would be less concerts. I mean, this year, everyone knows. I mean, Mayor Kun and his manager were like, oh, they can't hold a proper concert this year. And everything had to be COVID-19 compliant.
Yes.
But what shocks me the most is, like I said, with us in Nigeria, the amount of nonchalant attitude we have towards COVID-19. You do it at home, fine. You take it outside again and try to make it look like it's cool. If other people take it serious, let them take it serious. But you back home, I mean, you've organized a concert for a cool convention center. On the poster, I didn't say anything like, oh, COVID-19 compliant and things like that. I'm like, do these people really care about people's health and safety before organizing these events? If they wanted to be creative, there are ways you can go about, having these concerts. You can have your concert and have your cluster of families or whatever. If people that come together in shows, they can have their clusters. But the pricing will be expensive. We understand that. And then you can do your live streaming. I think that's what live sport had in mind. But I think DAVIDO and his crew coming for DMW concerts all of a sudden, when everyone has not been organizing concerts, they came up and maybe that now triggered something else behind and they decided they couldn't hold the show anymore. Because who gave the approval for the show anymore? For the show, yeah. But then because of how we are in Nigeria, right, these things now, they will say, oh, but the churches are holding services or they are holding what's the name of
markets are opening.
Markets are opening. They will say this. What's the name of this church? Oyedepo's church.
Oyedepo, yeah.
Shiloh is ongoing.
Yeah.
They will say RCCG is ongoing, and they're having their masses. I tuned into RCCG. I saw. They tried their best to do social dance, but it's still not enough. Imagine if someone was COVID-19 positive in those areas and is able to mingle around with people.
Definitely.
That's spreading at a large scale, and people leave these places and go to several parts of Lagos.
In fact, parts of the country.
Parts of the country. And people are not just considering that fact. And I don't want to call people selfish, but that's what it looks like. The people are being selfish just because the whole of the country seems, looks like Corona don't finish. But we are just lucky that we are not feeling the full effects of Corona. The people who are feeling the effects of Corona, at least 2,000 people are dying every day. In the US, over 2,000 people are dying every day from corona. So we've treated it with levity, and we've said to ourselves that nothing will happen or corona, no deal, or things like that. That's what I see.
Lala, Davido's show, Wizkid's show, Burna Boy's show, on the flyer we had something about COVID-19 compliance.
Yes.
That was before now. They said, oh, we are doing tables only. Now, all of a sudden, this concert have been cancelled. 3 of them cancelled. What actually changed? What triggered it? Could it be the government? Could it be the Omale and Thames issue in Uganda?
I think it might be a combination of all these things that you mentioned. Firstly, okay, the first person to announce a concert was Live Sport, DAVIDO and Co.
Yeah.
I mean, they said COVID-19
Compliant, yeah.
So we already had an idea of, and they said they were going to do live stream. So we had an idea what it was going to be. Then came the issue with Omale and Thames in Uganda. And obviously, the people from the Nigerian mission in Uganda had to step in to secure the release and everything. So obviously, those government is seeing all these things. And they're saying, okay, fine. Is this how it's going to be back home when they hold their concert?
Yeah.
And they'll probably just use that to cancel any sort of authorization that they're giving these guys for their concerts. Anybody who wants to host a concert, let them go and do a live stream if they really do want to hold the concert. That's what they should do. I mean, right now, even in the UK, they just allowed some certain parts of the country, allowed fans into the stadium. Like a stadium that is 80,000 capacity, they can only allow 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. That's what they did. But now they've had a spike in COVID cases. They've now had to raise the level back to level 3. That means, for example, in teams like Chelsea or Arsenal in London, they can't have fans in the stadium anymore. Again.
Wow.
And they've only had fans in the
stadium
for 2 games. So now they can't have fans in the stadium again going forward until the COVID cases has reduced. Those are right-thinking people who are considering the health of fans. Fine, they try to make money and say, oh, let fans come back a bit. But then if the cases keep increasing, but the thing is, even in Nigeria, we don't even have the full scope of how many people have corona because we are still doing less testing. After all these months, testing is still as expensive as, and we're still doing less testing. We're not even getting the right numbers. So everybody is doing vibes and inshallah. Maybe now because we want to take chloroquine for since very small. I don't know, but we are treating it with levity. And then if you're going to treat levity in our country, please don't go to other person's country and treat it as something that doesn't want it.
Do you think this is going to affect the Wizkid, Burna Boy, and Davido's chances of having something for the fans this December?
Well, I mean, it was always going to be difficult for a live sport eventually. I mean, when I saw the post, I'm like, interesting. I would want to
see how it pans out.
And it turns out it's not going to pan out anymore. So they can change, and decide to do a live concert. I mean, before even this moment, we had Naamali and they've done live concerts. Before, around, was it July or August? Around that period, they've done their own live. They can do something similar. Fine, you may not get the amount. I mean, YouTube did something with Wizkid and a lot of people tuned in.
Yeah.
You can do the same thing as long as the production is good, and then you can do the same thing. So that's what they need to be looking in that direction. Yes, it's going to affect the chance of having something special, but 2020 is not the end of the world. There's still 2021. COVID-19 vaccines are rolling out. We all know that we are last to collect anything that in Nigeria because they have to give their citizens first. We just have to cross around and wait for the people who are
third-class citizens and third-class citizens of the world.
Don't be us create them now. UK, they're going to start giving patients. I mean, the old people COVID-19 vaccines already. Even the children will start collecting. By the end of next year, everybody in the country will have collected. But we will still wait because we still have to purchase it. And seeing as Nigeria is broke, everybody is OIO.
Okay, so looking at a Davido concert not happening this December, Wizkid not happening this December, Burna Boy as well not happening this December, do you think every artist will follow suit, or they will think, you know what, let me just try and hold something, let's see if the government will come after me?
See these artists and the organizers and even the government, all of them are hypocrites. Because everybody can point finger and say, oh, but you allow this person to do this, but you allow this person to do this. Clubs are open.
I was going to ask that.
People are going to clubs in crowded places.
Yes.
You see all these artists on their snaps, on their Instagram stories.
In clubs. Yes.
Clubs. So what? I'm not going to say, okay, because of that, they should not allow all these concerts. No, they shouldn't. In fact, close down the clubs. They shouldn't, because they've made, and the clubs now can turn out and say, oh, but the churches are open. The clubs will say that. So that means we've allowed, it's because the government itself has said,
and if they close the church,
business as usual for everybody.
And if they close the church say, oh, but markets are open.
That was
so
the initial.
the blame keeps going and going. The fingers keep pointing to different things.
The government has got it wrong from the start. I mean, from the moment they said, oh, everything can open back as normal. Since the time they made that announcement, that's when they've lost control of everything. Because now, to even do a close, I mean, in Lagos, cases are rising like anything. Yeah. In Abuja, cases are rising. Rising. Really, so really rising. Everybody, if you love yourself, please, it's better not to catch it and say, oh, I messed up, I shouldn't have caught this thing. Just keep yourself safe. Even if there are concerts or clubbing, please wait till everything has died down in terms of, I mean, there's vaccines and everything that's been developed already. Wait till everything is clear. I mean, you still have your parties and do all these, your gyration. But at the moment, I mean, you're putting your life at risk if you're going to all these crowded places. In my church, I use face masks. Left to me, I wouldn't even want to go, but then I have to be considerate, right? I go, I use my face mask. And I look people around me, people are not using face masks. But that doesn't mean I'm going to stop using my face mask in church, because I know it's a crowded place and there's ACs and this and that. I use my face mask. But then again, to my shocker, you go to other churches, you see how they are compliant with these things. Those are the ones that blow your mind. They are compliant with, washing your hands before you enter. Compliant with have your face mask on if you are seated inside of the auditorium. If you're not using face mask, sit outside. Very compliant churches, and shout outs to them. So the other ones that are not compliant, please, they need to let us know that maybe they've seen one vision that COVID don't come out. COVID is
okay, so finally, before we go, Davido on his Instagram stated saying that the safety of the fans, someone like a live sport as well, I've said, safety of the fans and everything. Yeah. Now, that brings me to a question. Do they really care about the safety of the fans?
Obviously, they don't care. This safety of the fans excuse, something else has gone on behind the scene. He probably has lost the license to hold these shows. Yeah. But they won't come out and say, the government has said we cannot hold these shows. What else is the going to use? Due to the safety of the fans. Did you not consider the safety of the fans before setting up those shows in the first place?
Exactly.
So yeah.
Man, I mean, the
shows
way forward.
Will come 2021. Let them go and sit down. Nobody needs to.
Or have a virtual concert.
If you want to have or have those drive-in concerts that they did. I mean, Cubana was creative with that. Was it Cubana or who organized that?
I think Cubana.
They had the drive-in concert. Let people pay parking and let them separate themselves. Let people don't mingle. I mean, that's a start. That's a start. But the way it is in Nigeria right now, God help us. Help us.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for sticking by on this one. The gospel reactions, Davido, Wizkid, Burna Boy's concerts have been totally cancelled. There is not going to be a Wizkid, Burna, or Davido concert this December, except they do virtual concert. Yes, those concerts that they talked about before now have been cancelled. What do you think about all of this and many more that we have said right now today? Guys, please put your comment down there. Tell us what you think about them, and of course we'll be right here to reply to every one of you. We'll see you on the next reaction. Please stay safe. Please stay safe. COVID-19 is still very real. The cases are spiking up. Guys, please stay safe. If you have to go out, please always go with your nose mask. Don't enter crowded places without a nose mask. Do not, I repeat, do not enter crowded places without a nose mask. It is very important. COVID-19 is very, very real. I want to implore all our artists as well, the same way they did with the NSAS thing. Everybody carrying NSAS on their head. Please, it's important for you to use a platform to also educate the fans. It is very important. Please, not just about concert and making money. It's about letting your fans know that their lives are important and they need to stay safe and stay alive to be able to enjoy more of your music and of your whatever you have to offer. Please, guys, stay safe, guys, and God bless you.
God bless.